So you don't have to wait until you are where you want to be to start enjoying life. That is the whole main point of this message. That is what we're talking about today. That is what I felt when I woke up this morning. That you literally don't have to wait to where you want to be to enjoy anything. Because I have been doing calorie deficit since the beginning of the year. The last time I made a video like 2 weeks ago, I talked about being off for like 5 days, but not to worry because I'll get back on it, which I did. And I'm starting this video, which I'm also coming back from like a 5-day being off. And I sort of felt this sense of like, you know, because this week and last week I didn't go out to eat by myself, which is so like funny because I mentioned in that previous video the importance of momentum, but there's also the importance of adaptability and just going with the flow, because of literally these past 2 weeks it wasn't in the cards to go out to eat by myself, and it just wasn't. The worst thing you can do, other than like, I didn't want to say like breaking promises to yourself, because it wasn't really like a promise. It was kind of just like, you know, scientist Pauline being like, I think this works best for you, so you should do it this way. But then life happened, and last week I kind of was just like, let it go, like it's okay. And this week, like technically I could go eat out by myself right now, but I have a lot of stuff on my plate, and priorities. Sort of like I mentioned in my social anxiety led me to pole dancing classes. Like after I was there for like a year or so, I took a break from it because I had to prioritize my mental health over my physical health, you know. And so there's always that, right? There's always priorities. There's always, and literally you also have to recognize that you literally do have all the time in the world to get what you want to get done. Because I can find myself in that little trap of thinking as well, where it's like, what if I don't have enough time? What if I don't, you know, if I don't do this, like I'm not going to be where I want to be by this time. And then by this time, like what if it's just like too late? But it's like, no. Like you have to accept the fact that you literally do have all the time in the world to get what you want to get done. And I'm not saying that as a, like, you know, like no matter what happens, like whatever, like no. I'm just saying that, like, all right, I said what I said. And but no. So yeah, I literally just come out of like a 5-day like being off, which is also awesome, because following that quantum leaping video where I talked about how I woke up unprompted, unintentionally, without orchestration or planning. Like I literally woke up in a new different reality, February 24th, 2025. And one of the things that the universe brought me was the gift of intuitive eating, which I've mentioned before, having the binging eating disorder for like 10 plus years. Like intuitive eating was not like on my options menu, like it just wasn't, because of the way I was raised, etc. So tying it back on this past week, it's like, yeah, I could have like beat myself up, but, and it's so crazy whenever you're raised a certain way and your body just, you know, like I grew up more in like survival mode, if not like just survival mode, than like any other like state. And when you are raised in just a survival mode where, you know, you're used to a certain way, and, you know, let's see. Okay. But it's crazy. It's crazy to find yourself in a similar like state, and I am where I am now, and I'm not gonna like punish myself for, you know, because if I'm so lost in the sauce of the survival state like I was this past week, which led me to not want to track, which I didn't overeat because the blessing of that amazing quantum leaping experience of like it's just so cool. just so cool. Like before, when somebody said body cues, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't, like, my body doesn't have that. Because again, like when you're raised in just survival mode and all you know is like adrenaline, and like whenever the adrenaline wears off and the exhaustion of like, it's so weird, like I didn't do anything but it feels like I ran a marathon because like my body has been taking in more, like it's just so crazy. And so whenever you're raised so disconnected and so numb and just like, I don't know what you mean to stop eating when I'm full. And that's the beauty of life, is that literally I just woke up one morning and I was given the gift of intuitive eating. I have a whole video talking about it. It wasn't just that, it was a few other things, including my senses, including how I perceive the world around me. Like it literally changed like that. It's so crazy, so amazing. But like, yeah, so like this past week I didn't track, and I also know I didn't like overeat because the next morning whenever I woke up, I've noticed whenever I do calorie deficit, like I've noticed how my body feels, especially because I've been doing that for like a few months now. So I, you know, the more healing I am, the more connected I am to my body. I'm not just like here's me, here's my body, because before it would be like that for like the longest time. Like I don't know what you're talking about. Like people think I had a high pain tolerance, but it's like, no, I'm just that disconnected from my body. You know. Also, I have no idea the effect of like not having food available to me growing up. I don't know how that has affected me, but I do know, and this is such a tangent. All my videos are such tangents. But like, it's just so like, I know I'm gonna get there, so I'm not even like mad about it. But it is interesting, and when I say that, that's the positive way of saying frustrating. That like even right now, in the body that I am in, and as healed as I am, and all these other wonderful, you know, things have been happening, it's like sometimes like I'll be with my friends and their moms will cook like amazing meals, and they'll spend like so much time, and they'll spend so much, and they'll be like, can't you taste this? And in my head it's like I know there's food in my mouth and I'm eating something. And that's like with, you know, something else too, because it's like, so when someone feeds you, that's like so loving. And because I wasn't fed much as a child, like literally, it's like, so I know there's like so much stuff happening, but all I have to say is that you don't have to wait to where you want to be to enjoy today. That's the point of all of this, is that I woke up, and it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Like, it's so crazy. But like all that stuff you hear, like, you know, the easiest way to achieve your goals is to literally become the person that is achieving those goals. So it's kind of like, you know, whenever it happened for me, the quantum leap, it literally was unprompted, and I literally wasn't planning on it. I wasn't thinking of anything. Like, it literally was just like a regular day. I woke up and it was like I just had all this stuff already. So like, but with what I'm talking about right now, it's more intentional, and it's also the truth, and it's also just the way I woke up. Because I don't know why, but I do kind of go with the way my body feels. I think because it was such not a factor in how I spent my days. What's happening over here? You know, because when I was a child and I felt certain things, it's like I literally had to just like dissociate. I had to like not have space for whatever I felt. And now that I'm in a position to feel things, like that's like the most important thing to me. If I wake up, like let's just say I wake up full of rage, because that happens, because of my childhood, because of like so much stuff that hasn't been tended to, it's like that's just how I woke up, and now I have to tend to this emotion, like whatever. Same thing with tired, same thing with stress, same thing with happy, same thing with whatever. I typically kind of just go with whatever I'm given, because I recognize the importance of honoring all those different, like, whatever comes up, I know has to come up, and it's not going to go away until I allow it to come up, and I spend time and I give it a space of, like, there's a reason why sometimes, like, because he had a childhood similar to mine, raised by narcissists, raised in abuse, raised like the smallest thing criticized, like, yeah, and you haven't tended to all of that. Because when you're angry, it's literally just your body saying, hey, like, I don't think this is how you're supposed to be treated, right? Like, that's why you feel that. And if you spent like 20 whatever plus years just like not tending to all those emotions, like, they're gonna just like, one, ta-da! So yes, I woke up with that notion in my space this morning, like, because like yesterday I was kind of like hard on myself, and it's like, dude, like, don't punish yourself for like how you feel, right? Because this past few weeks have been a lot on me, and like I mentioned before, if you already have a lot going against you, like, literally you being like about it is just gonna add more to it, more unnecessary, right? And it's really difficult because I also had like my period this week, which is something else that I'm kind of getting like a whole new experience with, especially after the quantum leaping, because again, like, I was so disconnected from my body for the longest time that I would hear certain things like, oh yeah, like, I get tired before then, like, or I get like more energy this week, or I get more sleepy or more irritable or more whatever. And I know there's like 4 different phases, or I don't know how to phrase it, but there's 4 different like things that you go through as a woman every month. And for the longest time, I just wouldn't like feel that because of my trauma. Like, when I was a power lifter for all those years, I remember picking up like hundreds and hundreds of pounds of weight, and people being like, oh, you're so strong. And I would kind of just be like, I guess, like, I don't really feel anything. Like, I know I'm picking something up, but I don't, or pushing something or whatever, but I don't, feel anything. And so it's interesting now, and it's really exciting documenting everything on YouTube, because it's like, it's amazing. So yeah, like, it's just cool, like, having like it's all just there. And so it's really interesting on a week like this week, where right now, if I wasn't intentionally driving and recording, like, a video wouldn't have happened. And it's also so amazing because I feel like there's always like so much more stuff happening, like, let's just say I'd be like, oh, like, let's just skip this week, and then next week I'll put something up. It's like, well, all of this, what I'm talking about right now, would have been gone, or I would have been there, but it's like, it would have been like, oh, I don't really remember exactly, but this happened, I think, because so many things just like happen. Like the quantum leaping, like, that was so exciting. But these past 2 weeks, yes, my body has been more in the fight or flight mode, because I mentioned previously starting a new business, so that has needed like a lot of my attention. And it's not even just like attention and time, it's like literally, like, I was like starting to cry in that video where I talk about this, where it's like when you grow up, like, with all of this stuff, right? As a child, you're criticized. As a child, you can't be yourself. As a child, the authentic you was rejected, and you've had to like morph yourself into something that, you know, was acceptable at home, so that you wouldn't but like, it is really common for those individuals to grow up and not to have like huge dreams. Like, literally, like, I just wanted peace and a sense of safety. Like, for the longest time, that was just like, oh, like, what do you wish for? It's like literally just to feel safe. Like, I just want to wake up and feel safe, right? And when you acquire that because you didn't have it for such a long time, it's like, you know, I'm happy here. And I don't know how to explain it. I spent like that last video talking about this for the longest time, where like I kept saying I wish that I knew the word for this, but there's something happening to your energy when you go specifically from a place of like, you know, because yeah, like when you're raised by abusive narcissists, it's like you can't be yourself, you can't do this, nope, that's stupid, that's dumb, I'll make fun of this, I'll make fun of that, etc. So then you're just like, you know, but these past 2 weeks have been really exhausting because of that. It's been really like taking a toll. I think that's an officer, where it's like I feel like it's just taking a toll on like your energy. I don't know how else to phrase that, but it's not like, because when you put the work, like everything I've done these past 2 weeks for my business, when you put it on paper and everything, it's like not that difficult. Like intellectually I'm there and all that, it's like not that difficult. But it's the freezing I feel before I'm doing it. It's the excitement I feel when something clicked, because it's my first time doing all of this. It's the hesitation you feel, like, you know, because again, like, ideally when you're a child and you fall, someone is there to tell you like, hey, it's okay, right? It's okay. But when you're a child and you fall and someone makes fun of you, and let's just say you're even like disciplined for some of the things you did as a child, like disproportionately / like abused, it's like something happens to whenever it's time, even as like, you know, obviously like I've been out of that environment for a while now, but whenever you find yourself doing something new, you know, there's something there where it's like, yeah, you know. And so I did freeze a lot these past 2 weeks. I did find myself in a situation where it's like I need constant soothing right now. And it was so interesting because even like yesterday, I was on track to, you know, be on calorie deficit and track everything. Like mentally I was pretty good, but the universe always does what, you know, it needs you to do. It's like I ended up doing something different. I thought it was going to be like an easy thing with what I'm working with, but I ended up doing something brand new, and I had to like, you know, find how to do this. I had to like do all this research. I had to like, how do I X, Y, and Z? And then as soon as I was done, it was like, okay, like just like I just got a piece of pizza and started eating it. Like I just needed, and I could feel the upliftingness of that, the comfort of that pizza. I could feel a sense of like relief. I could feel even my body is starting to just get like so tired, like all within a matter of just seconds, because it was like so intense. And that's just where I am right now. That's just where I am right now. And so yeah, when I woke up, you know, whatever, a part of me kind of felt like, you know, this is how the day is gonna go out. But almost like simultaneously, I felt that higher version of me pulling myself towards like, no, we're not doing that. Like, we're not just, you know. And it's all interesting, and it's all just, you know, so many things at play. But could feel that sentiment of like the easiest way to get where you want to be is just to become it, and so for me, a big part of it is also like getting ready, because with the way my life is set up, like I literally, like, it's just like, I don't know, but